Okay, we're going to do some arithmetic sequences. That's the finding the nth term. That means a constant rate of change. First things here, there's a lot of other videos on this that are very similar. Most of them are pretty good. The only thing they don't do that we do in Big Ideas Math is when they plug everything in here, they don't reduce it and they don't simplify that. Our book expects us to do that, so that's the one additional step that's not present. Okay, first off, this a to the n, that refers to the term we're looking at over here. So a1, that means it's our first term. a2, that means it's our second term. This is a3, that means it's our third term, and so on. This is a4, that's our fourth term. This is a5, that's our fifth term. Okay, so that's what that means. On this one, on these, n would equal 1 on the first term, 2 on the second, 3 on the third, 4 on the fourth, 5 on the fifth, and so on. That's that n that we have over here. Okay, you're also going to notice in here we have a constant rate of change. That's the d here. So I should mention here we have a to the 1 is our first term, and d is the difference between consecutive terms. And for this type of sequence, that's always going to be the same. And if you look over here, we have a difference of 5. We have a difference of 5. We have a difference of 5. And this is a positive 5 because it's increasing. If you don't see it, subtract. You can subtract any two consecutive terms. -1 minus a -6. That changes to plus a positive. That's 5. 4 minus -1. That changes to plus a positive. That's 5. 14 minus 9. That's 5. All those come out to 5. You can subtract it anywhere and get that. But that's also the type of sequence. If it's not having that constant change for those consecutive terms, then it's a different type of sequence. There's other techniques for those. So to do this, we need to identify our first term, which is going to be -6. And then we need to identify d, which is 5. The other videos just plug this in to the formula, they plug in n, and you get your answer. We need to simplify this a little more. So we're going to take our formula, a to the n equals a1 plus n minus 1 times d. We're going to plug these in. A to the n equals -6 plus n minus 1 times 5. I distribute the d, the 5, into the parentheses. I get -6 plus 5n minus 5. I have some like terms here. I put those together. Now you can write this either way. I like to write the variable first, so I'm going to put the 5n first. -6 minus 5. I can either do plus a -11. I prefer to keep it a little cleaner. I'm just going to put it as -11. And there's our formula for the nth term in the sequence. I suggest testing this out. Make sure it works. You can do this for any of these 5 terms that we had up here. So if I try it for the second one, I get -1. So I'm trying for a2. That means n is equal to 2. So that's 5 times 2 minus 11. That's 10 minus 11. That tells me -1. It checks out. It matches what we have up here. I could do it for another one. I could do it for a5. That's going to be 5 times 5. Again, just 5n minus 11. That's 25 minus 11. That gives me 14. It checks out. So I'm looking good. Now, the homework asks us to find other ones here, like the 20th one. So if I want to find A20, I just put 20 in, just like I put the 2 and the 5 in. And that's going to be 5 times 20 minus 11. That's 100 minus 11. That gives me 89. I think I saw online they were doing A50. That'd be 5 times 50 minus 11. That's 250 minus 11. That's 239. And you're doing sequences like that. They work with decimals. They work with fractions. Those are a little more challenging. They work going down here too. So look at all these negative ones. This one here, there's my A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Okay, these are actually getting smaller. Yeah, 8, 14, 20, that's getting bigger. But these are negative numbers. More negatives is smaller. So I'm going to have on this one, an A1 is equal to -2. My difference is going to be -6. It's going down by 6 each time. I'm going to plug it into my formula. A1, whoops, not A1. A to the n equals A1 minus plus n minus 1 times d. So that's going to give me A to the n equals -2 plus n minus 1 times -6. Be careful distributing your negatives. Always watch those signs. So that's going to go in -2, and I could go plus -6, or I'm just going to go minus 6n. Negative times negative is positive. That's going to be plus 6. I got my like terms here, -2 and 6. That gives me 4, -6n plus 4. Let's do a quick check on this one here. Let's do A3. That's going to be -6 times 3 plus 4. That's -18 plus 4. That gives me -14. That's checking out. Let's find our A20 and A50. I didn't put that in the directions, but we do ask to find that. So that's A20 is going to equal -6 times 20 plus 4. It's going to be -120 plus 4. That's -116. A50, -6 times 50 plus 4. That's -300 plus 4. It's -296. Now, if you want to test any of these out on your own, you can make them up pretty easily and test them out too. You just pick a starting number. So I'm going to pick a starting number of 3, and I'm going to go up by 4. So I might go 3, 7, 11, 15, 19. There's my sequence. You can see each of these is going up 4, and you can find your equation for that. You can try doing negative ones or going down. So let's say a starting point of 7, let's go down 2. So that might be 7, 5, 3, 1, -1, and so on. You can do them with decimals. Let's start off with -2.8, and let's go with an increase of 1.6. So that'd be -2.8, -1.2, 0.4, 2.0, 3.6. You can come up. Fractions a little harder to do in your head and things like that. You might have to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. But you could make one up. So, let's start off with, let's just use positive numbers, make it a little easier here. let's start off with 3/8, and let's go up by 5/8. So that would be 3/8. Whoops, not 5/8. 3 and 5 gives me 8/8, 13/8, 18/8, and what would my last one be? 23/8. But they may change that. You may just see 3/8, 1, because they can reduce that. They could leave that as 13/8, or they might end up doing 1 and 5/8. This is going to be 2 and 2/8, though they would probably reduce that to 2 and 1/4. This is going to be 2 and 7/8. So you can make those up. You can make up your own sequence. That might help you understand it a little bit better, and then find the equations for those. I hope that helps. Have a good day. Aloha.